I loved my Garmin golf watch so much, I just bought the new S12. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked this up. It's a fairly new watch, actually. Garmin has a whole bunch of golf watches in their lineup, and the one I had, the S10, was kind of their low end, but I loved it. It was just so nice to be able to glance down at your wrist and get your yardages to the green. But I never really wanted to upgrade to some of the really high-end ones with the touch screen that were hundreds of dollars, really $200, $300, $400 was kind of the entry to get into those. But this one, the S12, is just slightly more than the S10, but it looks like it has a couple of features that I really wanted, and on top of that, it's round, even though I think generally the guts of this thing, remember in the 90s when they would always sell you some off-brand type of electronic and say it had Sony guts, but generally the guts of this, I think, are the same as the Garmin S10. In fact, I kind of think that screen and everything is lifted right out of the S10, and other than some new functionality, it's really kind of just in this round form factor now. So we do get the proprietary cable. I have said in my last video, I don't like these proprietary cables. I wish they were micro USB or USB-C and maybe with a waterproof cover, but I just hate having to take these, you know, if you're going on a golf trip or something like that. Now here is the watch itself, and it has a silicone band on it, but I will tell you on my S10 too, I have just found that these are a little bit thin, and while I've never had a problem with them, I've heard of people saying that they break, and if you are, you know, a very active golfer, maybe it's going to put a lot of pressure on there. You can see how they're very slim. What I do love is that they have a standard lug design on this watch. So the S10 had this proprietary kind of screw-on lug, but this does not, and so what you have here are these quick release spring bars, so I can just pull these off just like this and then put on new ones. This is a 20mm lug design here, so if you have a watch band that you like that's 20mm, you can throw that in there as well. And what I love about this is it's just easy to pop these on and off. Now the look of this one is black on the bezel, but it's actually a little bit of a battleship gray on the band here, so that's kind of nice. We have the plastic buckle right up here, but what this means is it's very, very light. If you go to a leather band or a metal band or something like that, it's going to add a lot of weight, and even a few grams on your wrist can actually change your swing weight and maybe your swing. So you want to keep this nice and light, and that's why even the lugs right here are kind of skeletonized. They're kind of hollow, so they're really trying to keep weight out of the watch, and you can see the plug for that cord on the back there. So what we get here is round face, but you can see that the screen, the LCD screen, which is only black and white, is square. So it's actually very much like the S10, but looks very watchish. In fact, I think all of these things are exactly the same as it was on the S10. So what we have is a button up here that says up, and that one says down, so that's how you navigate. And then what we have here is an OK button right up here and a back button, and the power button I think is right here as well. So you have a very, very small screen. You're really not using most of the real estate here. Power this sucker on, you just hold down this button, and as you can see there, it kind of just goes on. It's a little bit like a calculator display, but one of the nice things about this is, even though I'd prefer e-ink because it would maybe look a little bit more black and whitish, in direct sunlight, this is actually very, very easy to read. So now it's in setup mode here, and I'm just going to go through this and show you some of the key features of this. So this is the OK button here. We're in setup mode, so I'm going to hit that. Yes, I want yards. Time format, 12 hours. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip according to the satellites right now. And now if I actually go here to OK, we can go down to play golf, or I can go down to settings. So I'm going to go down to golf settings right here, and the background color is black. If I hit OK, we can actually change that by going down here and then go to white, and it's just going to flip everything. So now it should kind of have black numbers on the white background. I actually don't like that, and so I'm going to go down here to black, and that looks good to me now. All right, and you can go scoring on or off. I'll be honest, I actually don't use the scoring, but it's kind of nice to have it, especially if you don't want to bother with the scorecard afterwards. And stat tracking and big numbers are off. Golf distance, yards, club sensors, no, I don't have any of that. So I'm also going to go down here. It looks like you can pair a phone, and I don't think it's going to be like having an Apple Watch, but I think you can get text alerts and call alerts on this watch. So if you have your iPhone or your Android with you, then it'll work a little bit like a notification window on your wrist. So I'm not really worried about that either. And now one of the things that I'm really excited about here is I'm just going to go ahead and play golf. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit this golf course. It has something like 40,000 golf courses in here, so you shouldn't have any problem finding it. I'm going to go up here to Championship Tee because, yeah, that's what I am. And you can see here on the display, it actually is super readable. So this isn't even the big numbers as far as I can tell. I think it'll fill out the full screen. You can see it's about splitting the screen right in half there. So we've got the numbers on the outside, and then we have the green here. So first hole, par 4, and what I love about this is this green is an actual representation of the green, this right shape. So from this direction, you can see the front dot and the back dot, and so that 358 right there means to that front dot, the 380 means to that back dot, 370 is to the middle of the green, which is really nice. The other thing about this is that if I hit up, what we get here is this little line between us and the green represented by that circle up there, and those little hash marks on there show different types of obstacles or hazards. And so what you can do here is just scroll up. A is the 169-yard layup to that obstacle. If we go up to B, it's a 219-yard layup to that obstacle, and C, a 269-yard layup to that obstacle. So I'm not sure what they are, but you would be able to see that when you're on the course. And then it looks like 338 to 358 will put us in the rough. So the fairway must not go all the way to the green there. And then, you know, you get up to 358 and beyond, then you'll be on the green. So pretty cool. On top of that, this one, if I go OK here, I can go down to measure shot, and this is actually a new feature. So if I go ahead and select OK, so what this allows me now to do is go from where I'm at right now to my ball, and it will show me the distances between those 2 points. So if I drive off the tee and I really want to know how far am I driving, what I can do now is start this shot measurement feature and drive out or walk out to my ball, and it'll tell me exactly how far I drove. So that is pretty cool. I'm really excited about using this, and I will tell you that based on my experiences with Garmin on the course, I have never ever had a problem with them. The accuracy is awesome. It updates very, very quickly. As you walk, you step forward, a yard drops off the reading. So I have no doubts that this is going to work really, really well for this. I can tell you that this is a pretty decent sized watch. I would call it like a 48 millimeter. So, you know, if you want something much smaller, the S10 might be your speed, but this one looks perfect on my wrist here, which is kind of an average sized wrist. I think that looks great. Man, I even love the color. I don't know, maybe I won't change the strap, but I will tell you what, on the course, I am sure this is going to work great. So if you're looking for something that looks a little more watch-ish as opposed to the squarish S10, I can just tell you that my experience with the Garmin products has been awesome. In fact, you know, when I look down at the watch and I'm walking, I see the yardages update, and they are updated real time. So by the time I'm at my ball and I flip up my wrist, man, those yardages are spot on. And super light, so it shouldn't screw up your swing. And this one is actually really affordable. So I think you get a lot of features, everything you get in the S10 in a more attractive package with the shot measurement feature, and you get distances to all your obstacles. So really awesome companion. I would definitely recommend, if you are even half serious about golf, pick this sucker up. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter Von Panda.